Traders, welcome to the live stream. Trader Tom here, and I am with you for the next 45 minutes. So this is the plan. We do have a plan, believe it or not. We are going to first look at a couple of trades that I have taken. Well, I took them yesterday, but took profit today. So we're going to understand those trades and why I took those. So Aussie dollar yen buys and euro US dollar buys as well. So we're going to look at those in detail so you understand the logic of the trade. And it's just simple price action, guys, right? So we're going to delve into that a little bit. We're also going to, we've also got super duper important bad boy, big daddy, big mummy news, right? We have got the ECB interest rate decision. All right, so this is big, big news, guys. So as you can see, they're looking to keep the interest rate the same at 2.15%. So we shall see what happens there. These deposit facility rates and all these figures are also important as well. And usually the interest rate comes out as expected. I'm probably going to get egg on my face today and it will be totally different. But usually interest rates are the same. Right. So it'll be this, that 43 minutes later, it's the ECB press conference. This is the one that you need to be aware of, guys, because this is how they talk about projections and forecasting and the state of the economy. And this is where you can see some real spikes in price. We've got that a quarter past the hour. So in, not long at all until that comes out. So we must be aware of that, guys. We'll take a look at the euro reaction there. I really want to get into euro US dollar buy, but obviously I'm not going to do that right now. That would be like jumping off a plane with no parachute. Yeah, don't do it at home. It's not very wise. So that's what we're going to do, guys. And as always, we are going to take as many of your questions as possible, guys. So don't be shy. Come say hello. Leave as many questions as you like about trading or about anything. If you feel like giving me a general knowledge question, please do. I love a quiz. I really do. Ask anyone who knows me. They're like, Tom loves a quiz. All right, guys, so that's the plan. Let's just see who's in the house first of all. So Luigi, hi, Luigi, how are you? And Ikram, how are you guys? Welcome to the live stream. Now, let's start with the couple of trades I'm in, because I've got enough time to explain them before the big news comes out, right? Now, let's start with the weekly, because as you know, guys, I do a top-down approach. And if you don't know that by now, then where the hell have you been, right? All I go on about is doing a top-down approach, because each time frame gives you information and data to make the best decision you can. So why the hell not look at them, right? Now, weekly, as you can see with Aussie dollar yen, right, was in this downtrend, but now we've built up, right? We've broken these highs in here. We're now in an uptrend, nice big bullish candle, right? We're in this trade. We like this trade and we are in this trade. But I've taken profit on this already, right? But just uptrend, big bullish candle, okay? We like that. And then if we look at the day chart, guys, right? We're in this uptrend. Let's zoom out a little bit so we can get some more context. So it was very, contracting here. And look, it's really interesting, this is an ascending triangle. And then when it blasts out, right, it really wants to push higher. Okay, so you get contraction followed by a big move. You see that all the time in the markets. I love getting into a trade after we've had some contraction in the market, because when it does move, it has to, move quickly, right? It wants to, sellers or buyers give up. So this is what we're seeing, guys, right? We're in this uptrend and this is where we're at, right? Now, I actually took this trade here. So we had this bullish. This is a bullish candle. I know you're probably thinking, Tom, that's a doji. I would say incorrect, right? A doji is this. That's a doji, right? Where you have the top and the bottom wick, right? Relatively the same size. This is a bullish candle, right? That is a bullish candle because the bottom wick is so much more bigger than the top wick. And funnily enough, we had a little conversation about this in the VIP Discord, right? The wicks give you so much information, right? So there we are, guys. We got bullish candle. And then I actually entered this yesterday, guys. So I think it was a little bit after the live stream. And you can see, guys, right, we've got this trend line coming down here. Okay, and we broke out of that. But at the time of breaking that, not only did we break out of a trend line, we actually broke H4 structure as well. We broke this last high. So this ticked so many boxes. It really did. And I couldn't have got a better entry if I do say so myself. I got a retrace, what was once resistance becomes support. How many times do I talk about that, guys? That it is a Gal Gadot marries Mohammed Salah and they have offspring. That's the level of setup we're talking about. Oh, where do my analogies go sometimes? I do not know. But you get the idea, right? So when we break this and we come back into this level, I just entered. Okay. And, we've been in this trade ever since. So I've taken some profit here. I actually closed 90% of the trade and I'm leaving 10% to run. What I will do, right, if price comes back down to this alarm, you can see my level here, we're strongly, in an uptrend. So if we get a pullback to here, you can see this trend line here as well, right? If we get a pullback into here, I will buy this again because I think there's still a bit more room back up to these highs. Oh, sorry, been drinking again. Back up to these highs over here. So that was Aussie dollar yen. And then also, guys, we literally spoke about this trade on yesterday's live stream. I said to you guys, if euro US dollar does this, I will enter. And euro US dollar did do that and I entered. Right? Simple as that, guys, right? Let's understand the context of the trade. So basically, right, we're in this daily uptrend. Okay, we're getting higher lows, higher highs, clearly in an uptrend. And then we had this very nice bullish candle, right? Breaking this level that was creating some doubt, right? So we've got a really nice bullish candle. If we drop down to the H4, I love this setup. So, I spoke about the other setup is like Gal Gadot and Mohammed Salah's offspring and how wonderful they would be. This is even better than that, right? And I actually want to get into euro US dollar right now as well. Okay, but let me. I'm not telling you what to trade. I'm telling you how I trade and the things I look at. Now, this setup in here is an award-winning A1 top-notch bad boy of a setup, right? Because, not only do we have H4 in an uptrend, right? Clearly in an uptrend, we get a retrace back to this level that was once resistance becomes support, right? And we keep talking about how good that setup is. But this also has a trend line, right, that keeps hitting. This price keeps obeying this trend line. So once price got into here, I didn't wait for any bullish candle. I just entered. It was such a nice level. And funnily enough, again, we had a conversation today in the VIP Discord about, Tom, when do you wait for a bullish or bearish candle as confirmation to trade, or when do you just enter the trade? Now, for all the reasons I explained, this is where I just enter the trade. It's such a good level. I don't wait for a bullish setup, right? And there you go, guys. Right, we entered here. Again, I've taken 90% profit off of this one, right? And now we've got 10% left to run. And, you know, we've got in just under 5 minutes, guys, we've got the ECB interest rate decision, right? So obviously this could make euro US dollar do this, it could make it do this, it could make it do nothing, right? But I'm not willing to take that risk. However, you can see that we still have a bit more room to move into up to here. We're still nicely in this uptrend, and right now we're bouncing off of that trend line. So I want, if there wasn't ECB news, I would be in this trade. And again, I would have just entered. I would have entered in here, stopped below here, tried to take it up to here. So let's see what happens after the ECB. And even if this is still a trade, right, it might just shoot up and hit target, no trade. It might shoot down and break this low, no trade. But if it does nothing and looks like this, then I think potentially we've got trade hands. So yeah, there you go, guys. And as always, let's take a look at the trades that I put in here. So as you can see, this was yesterday, euro US dollar buys. Exactly what I said I was going to do in the live stream is what I did. And then Aussie dollar yen as well, guys, right? And then you can see the outcomes of the trades. We put everything in the Discord channel and the VIP Discord. So yeah, guys, check it out. And guys, if you enjoy my analysis and how I look at the charts, then please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash the like button. Also, guys, please come join our trading community. We have a free Discord channel. All right, so go check that out. Also, guys, if you check out our website, www.simply-forex.com, you can get access to all of our premium trading education, including the course, including the VIP Trading Academy, which I just showed you, including my mentorship program where I coach you one-on-one, and including our very new and exciting price action indicator. So we've created an indicator, guys, that basically trades like I do. All right, so we're very excited about that. We've got some people using the indicator already, and they're already getting some great results, right? So go check that all out. It's all in on the website. Also, guys, today's live stream is brought to you by Pepperstone. And if you want free access to the VIP Trading Academy, all you need to do is open up an account with Pepperstone, a world-class leading broker, and we will give you free access to the VIP. And you also get a free TradingView Essential subscription. It is a no-brainer. Go check it out. Again, you can use the QR code on the screen. Right, we've got a little bit under a minute before we see the news. Let's stay on euro US dollar. Let's stay on this trade, and let's see how price reacts. Because I would really like to get in on this trade, but obviously we can't just yet. Let me have a, this is for you non-Liverpool fans. This is my favorite Liverpool FC mug full of coffee. Right, and we've got 15 seconds, guys. Let's just say hello to a few people. So, Annie, hi, Annie. You should have your 5K challenge right now, by the way. Jolma, how are you? Okay, and Brett wants, okay, so news has just come out and literally nothing is happening. Yeah, absolutely nothing. So there you go, guys. So obviously, I don't even need to look, but everything, the deposit facility rate, the interest rate, everything was as expected. There you go. Right, everything as expected. You would see very crazy moves if it wasn't. And as always, guys, it is very unusual that the interest rate isn't as expected, right? So yeah, there you go. But like I say, be wary later on. This is where we're going to see some volatility in the euro. But after this ECB press conference, right, in 30 minutes, if this still looks something like that, right, I'm going to remove this old trade. Right, if this still looks something like this, I think I will get in this trade. And if the H4, right, obviously looks like this, yeah, we've still got, what, under 45 minutes to go. But if the H4 looks like this, I think this could be a good buy trade as well. But we've got that ECB press conference to be aware of. Right, who else is... US, okay. Yes, okay. And in another 15 minutes, guys, we've got another load of news coming out. All right, so we'll also look at the reaction of all of this to the US dollar and Canadian dollar. Yeah, big news day, and just loads of news today, right? I don't like big news days, especially... let's say I wake up, I do my analysis, and I like euro pairs, right? And I like a few euro pairs, and I potentially want to trade them. And then you see today, you're like 7 o'clock euro news, 8:30 euro news, 9 o'clock euro news, 1:15 euro news. You just can't trade it, right? But after this ECB press conference, you certainly can. All right, guys, so there you go. Quite muted response there. Adrian, I love the way you always boo my mug. Liverpool are the best team and current Premier League champions. Just saying. Right, so Brett wants to look at the DAX. Okay, we'll definitely take a look at the DAX then, Brett. Let's see who else is in the house. James, hi. Ennie, you're very welcome. Heath Hayden, how are you? Shreyas, where the hell have you been? Welcome back. So, okay, let's take a look at the DAX, guys. Just from years ago, I traded the DAX, and I used to call it the face ripper, which is probably not a good term to give any asset that you trade, because straight away, psychologically, there's something going on. And let's look at a fresh chart for the DAX, actually. Yeah, let's go here. Oh, no. Let's go here. Right, let's have a look at a fresh chart for the DAX. So this is the German indice, right? The DAX, the face ripper. Now, we're going to do a top-down approach. We've got no levels put in, no nothing. We pretty much have a naked chart. So, yeah, I'm going to show you basically exactly how I approach each chart and what I do. And how logical a lot of it is, right? Now, clearly a level. I know it's quite big, but clearly a level. Hit, a level, right? If we look at the highs here as well, definitely a level. Okay, but, well, no buts, definitely levels, and we're in an uptrend, but we've stopped making higher highs. Okay, so the weekly's not giving much away, really. And, if anything, you're getting a lot of sellers at this resistance level, right? No surprises there. Yeah, but you are. Okay, like a resistance level, don't think of it as resistance, right? Think of it as there are a shed load of sellers there. Same here. When you're at support, there are a shed load of buyers there, right? So do you want to buy do you want to buy into sellers? No. Do you want to sell into buyers? No, right? So don't think of them as support and resistance. Think of them as selling and buying levels, right? So there's the weekly, guys, in an uptrend, but at resistance. Now, if we drop down to the day chart, right, levels. There is a level here, right? We cannot ignore this little bad boy. Right, there's a level there. And that's about it, really. That's all I'm interested in, because we've got this weekly level and we've got this daily level. And this is where we're at. Now, what you find a lot of the time is when you're between, basically a rock and a hard place, this is where you find ranges. Right? We might get a bit of price action like this, because you've got all this selling pressure, because we know it's a good resistance level, and you've got all this buying pressure, because we know this is a good support level. So this is where we're pretty much at, really, right? Not much is happening between here and here. So not much to report with the DAX. This candle, you could say, right, you could sell from the top of the range back down to the low. And I agree with that assessment if the daily candle didn't look like that. Do I want to sell that candle? No, I do not. So there we are, guys. I did spot on the H4. We're at a really, and I think this is why Brett is interested in it, right? Because we're at a really nice H4 level. That level, if I only traded the H4, I would be buying this, right? Imagine I only traded the H4, I'd be buying that. But, like I say, always try to get as much data as possible to make the most informed trade you can. And because of that, I'm not interested in buying. I know this is a big resistance level up here. I don't want to try and push my luck back into it. So I really like the H4 level, but yeah, just not interested in buying it. So yeah, there you go, Brett. I hope that helps you with the DAX. Right, what else are we looking at, guys? Please get your questions over. Okay, so Shreyas wants to. Okay, we just got a James Pinhorn thought you'd be a West Ham supporter. Laugh out loud. That is very not racist. That is, I don't know the word. Because of the accent, James. I get it. Well, to be honest with you, my old man was a Millwall fan, right? And if he had his way, I would be supporting Millwall and probably in a punch-up every other week. But I support Liverpool because they were bloody good in the 80s when I was growing up. So, yeah, I support Liverpool. And my best mate's old man growing up was a Scouser, and he looked like, the Harry Enfield Scousers. He basically had curly hair and moustache, and he wore a shell suit. I'm not making this up. And he took us to see a game. I think it was about 8 years old, something like that. And we went up to Anfield. So there you go. That's why I support Liverpool. That's why it's stuck. And it was either that or Millwall. So there you go. Right. Shreyas wants to look at US dollar CAD and Euro US dollar. So, okay. So, Shreyas, we've already done Euro US dollar, right? And I like this for buys. And I've explained why. And I may well get in this trade, right? But let's have a look at US dollar, Canadian dollar. The thing with US dollar, Canadian dollar is, do we have enough room? Right? Now, you could right? If I just join up these lows. Okay, now this is the support level down here, But I can't help but see that, right? I'm going to remove it, but I can't help but see that trend line. Now, with that in mind and looking at this candle, can we keep selling it, right? Back down to these lows. Okay. Now, the answer will be a lot to do with the news that's going to come out in about 5 minutes, right? But there's not as much value here, right? So obviously we were seeing US dollar strength today as a result from yesterday, right? Now, all I would say to you guys is this, right? You know, obviously this is a big sell-off, loads of bearish candles, right? But if I was to look at US dollar, Canadian dollar, would you rather sell this, which is US dollar weakness, or would you rather buy euro US dollar? And I think it's a no-brainer, right? Look at this candle, super bullish, right? The body of the candle has broken the high of that candle, and we've got a bit more room to move into, right? US dollar weakness. Again, let's just quickly compare that with US dollar CAD. We've got a indecision candle, not a bearish candle, right? These wicks either side are pretty similar on this candle. And, you know, there isn't as much room for us to move into, right? So for me, if I like US dollar weakness, and I'm seeing it in a lot of currency pairs, pick the one that gives you the best setup, right? So in this situation, I would be more interested in euro US dollar than US dollar Canadian dollar. All right. Now, having said that, let's take a look at the H4. Yeah, I mean, you know, it probably does have a bit more room to move into. We've got this last H4 level here. You know, if we get a nice big wick rejection bouncing off the moving average 20, then chances are, you know, even if we just take it back down to here, if not a bit further, yeah, you know, I would be inclined to sell this as well. But again, if we look at the H4 euro US dollar setup, I prefer this, right? But we do have the ECB press conference. We also have Canadian dollar news coming out in a minute as well. So there's a lot of variables at play literally in 2 minutes. So yeah, let's see how it impacts the US dollar, guys. So we've got 2 minutes. Has anyone got anything interesting to tell me? Has anyone got a general knowledge question for me? Anyone? Okay, so James is selling pound US dollar. We have got US dollar news coming out very soon. Tom, can we take a look at UK oil? Yeah, we definitely will after the news. James, they're a good team. Thank you, James. This one is just to show you my team. They are a good team. When was AI first created? I've got a minute to answer. That's a good question because I think it's something like, you know, surprisingly early. I'm going to say 70s. In the 70s sometime. Some form of AI. I could be well off with that guess and end up embarrassing myself. Anyone else? When was AI first created? Well, there you go. 50s. I knew it'd be something crazy and very early. 50s. Shows how much tech they keep back. They only drip feed all this tech out to us. They're like, the peasants are worthy of the tech now. And we're like, thank you. But yeah, they've had this tech years. Right, 1 minute, here we go. US dollar news just come out. Let's have a look at the H1. I'm looking at euro US dollar, guys, because I'm interested in euro US dollar. But Okay, a bit of US dollar strength coming through. Let's have a look at pound US dollar. Quite muted, let's be honest. Let's have a look at New Zealand dollar US dollar. Excuse me. Again, very muted. Let's have a look at US dollar yen. Okay, a bit of US dollar strength coming through. Okay, so a little bit of US dollar strength. Let's now take a look at some Canadian dollar pairs because we had some CAD news as well. So Canadian dollar strength. Let's have a look at pound Canadian dollar strength. Let's have a look at US dollar CAD. Muted. Let's have a look at New Zealand CAD. Right. So let's Sherlock Holmes work this out. So US dollar had slightly better than expected news, as did Canadian dollar. Let's take a look. Totally incorrect. But US dollar was better than expected, right? Not massively, but better than expected news overall. I don't know what's happened to building permits. Maybe if I refresh the page. And nope. And Canadian dollar was actually worse than expected with retail sales. But yeah, overall, better than expected for the US dollar. Let's go back to Euro US dollar because I am interested in that. Yeah, and we're seeing this US dollar strength. So this, if this continues, guys, right, and we get this US dollar strength, I'm not interested in buying Euro US dollar anymore. And let's have a look at, I was kind of interested in Canadian dollar yen. Okay, nice, going quite well. Because I tell you why I was interested in this, right? For the following reasons, right? We are in an uptrend, okay? Clearly, higher lows, higher highs, right? And we're back at this support level, right? And then if we go down to the H4, it's scruffy, right? It really is scruffy, but ultimately we're seeing this, right? This level never broke. So we're in a bit of a range, right? So could, bearing in mind, this is really good daily support. Okay, this is a trade idea potentially right now, right? Considering this is very good daily support, right? We're in a bit of a range. I am aware of this downward trend line, okay? But also, guys, if we look at the weekly, right, we've had a breakout, right, of this level. Now, if we get a nice bullish H1 candle come out of here, my God, that's the worst candle I've ever drawn. If we get a nice bullish candle come out of here like this, potentially we could start buying, take price up to here, stops below here. You get your 1:1 roughly. I will be looking at that. Yeah, so we'll see how, obviously I need to see how the hourly candle finishes. But yeah, very much interested in that. The trade I am in, Aussie dollar yen for 10%, right? I'm still interested in this one. But we might have missed the boat here, guys. I've already taken profit, but as in, can we get into this again? If it comes back to here, I will, right? But judging by this candle, and if this candle finishes like this, right, we've got under 30 minutes to see that finish, then chances are it's just going to push higher, right? So yeah, there you go, guys. Right, what else do we have? We had another question here. So we've done a lot of US dollars. So let's take a look at UK oil, right? So let's put in UK oil. Okay. And as you can see, this is a fresh chart. Okay, so let's let's take a look at this. Let's do a top-down approach, guys. So Jolma, this one is for you. And guys, we've looked at a lot of US dollar pairs. I would say let's let this news sink in, and then we can make a decision about US dollar pairs. But we're seeing a bit of US dollar strength at the moment. But we'll look at US dollar pairs again in a minute. So James and Sabrosa, we will have a look. UK oil, right? Let's do another completely top-down approach, right? Put your levels in. Right, level. That is a good level. This is probably more of a daily level. But I'm going to put that level in. I'm just putting the, when you plot levels, guys, right, this may seem obvious, but, I don't care about, resistance up here. Yeah, we're down here, right? So I'm just focused on the most imminent support and resistance levels, right? And, there is a level through here, right? I'd include that high, right? You can see price has reacted here. Right, so they're my weekly levels, okay? Now, and obviously weekly is in an uptrend, okay? Just spot this. Bang, bang, bang. Right, oil's a bit of a mess at the moment, and we know why, because of all the geopolitics going on, the Middle East conflict. It's just really affecting oil, obviously. If we go to the day chart now, it's just disgusting. I couldn't think of a better word, but it's just doing nothing. Right, that is just awful, crappy price action. It's just we had a bit of a push up, and we thought, okay, maybe oil is making its way back up, and then stopped in its tracks, and then just nothing. So between here and here, I'm just not interested in oil, right? I would need a break this way or even a break that way. But if you had a break to the downside, you've got support straight away. But I would be interested in oil if we got a break of those highs, right? I really would. So, yeah, it's just ugly, right, at the moment. It's disgusting. I mean, let's have a look at the H4 to see what's going on here. Even if it's trying to break this last high, it can't do that either, right? We're kind of coming down and then bang. It's just holding on to these highs with these wicks. So there's not even at the moment, there's not, and just look at that price action. That offends my eyes. I have to apologize to my eyes about this price action. I mean, just look at it. You just want to stay away from that, guys, right? It's just crap. That's the best word for it. Yeah, I want charts like this. Even, like this, look, I want charts like this. Trending above the moving average 20, right? You can make profits in here, right? Even when it starts breaking down. Yeah, if you get in on the initial move, right, you can make money here, right? But this, you can't. It's not trending. You think it is? No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Oh, yes, it is. No, it's not. So yeah, I wouldn't be touching oil, Jolma, and until we get a breakout of one of those levels. So yeah. Right, what else are we looking at? So in follow-up to Brett's question, AI, it was the first machine learning for math and playing chess. I used to have a little chess machine, computer chess I used to play when I was a wee nipper. I've actually got, I am bragging, I've actually got trophies for chess. There you go. I used to play in competitions, you know, on the timer, and you have to write down your move. You do your move, write it down, timer. They do their move, timer. I used to do all that business. Check me out. Right, so we got New Zealand dollar for Sabrosa, and we've got pound US dollar for James. All right, so let's take a look at US dollar pairs. Just let's take a look at how that US dollar news is kicking in. So we're seeing sustained US dollar strength at the moment, right? We are. And if you end up with a H4 candle like this, right? Not in, you know, I do not want to buy pound US dollar, because at the start of the day, if we go to the day chart, right? At the start of the day, I want to buy it. Bullish, 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 still a bit of room to move into, right? Was all over this. But now, right, we're kind of breaking out of this channel, right? We're getting big selling candles. Yeah, I'm not interested in buying pound US dollar anymore. And I was at the start of the day. It's the same with New Zealand dollar, US dollar. If you go to the day chart, right, I would, you know, it's even, this candle has even broken that high, right? So we're in an uptrend with room to move into. So yes, I want to buy New Zealand dollar, US dollar, right? But if we look at the H4, there's no value. Even if I want to buy, there's no point in me buying up here. Where are you going to put your stop? Down here? There's no value up here. Yeah, so what I'd like to see is a bit of a retrace, right? So maybe this is what is happening right now. We get potentially a retrace, I don't know, even towards the moving average 20, right? And we get a bullish reaction, then I'd be interested. But not on the back of that news and this dollar strength that we're seeing. I'm not interested in buying any US dollar pair at the moment. I was interested in euro US dollar, but that's plummeting now as well. All right, guys. So yeah, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash the like button. Don't forget our promotion right now with Pepperstone. If you sign up with Pepperstone, a world-class broker, using our link on the QR code, then we will give you free access to the VIP Trading Academy. It's a no-brainer. And we will give you a free Essential Trading View subscription. It's a no-brainer. Right. Also, guys, please don't forget to join our Discord channel, our trading community. Come join that. Please check out the website as well. You've got access to all of our premium trading education, including the new Price Action 101 indicator that we are very excited about. We really are. It's such a good little thing that we've created there. It genuinely shows you price action and gives you an easy to follow strategy. Again, that's a no-brainer. So go check it all out, guys. I'd like to say thank you to everyone for joining the live stream today. Really appreciate you joining us, guys. Don't forget, same again next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, live streams, 8 a.m. New York EST. I'll see you then, guys.